As long as he stood inside that square until 5:30, the boss promised to give this freshly graduated college student $50. The student thought he was joking, but to his surprise, the boss turned and walked away. The student quickly grabbed him and said, "If you really will give me $50, then I'm willing to stand here until 5:30. With that, he stepped into the square. The boss gave a satisfied smile and said, "See you right here at 5:30, before casually leaving." Just because of one promise, the student stood in that square the entire afternoon. At exactly 5:30, the boss returned with $50. The student was overjoyed. He never thought making money could be this easy. Soon after, the boss offered him a full-time job. The salary rose from $50 to $200 with the same task, just standing in the square. The student happily agreed. The next day at work, his friend came by with a skateboard and invited him to a party. The student really wanted to go but hesitated because of his job. His friend said, "Come on, nobody's even watching you." But he still refused. Later, when no one was around, he lifted his right foot, tempted to step out. Yet he thought again, where else could he find such an easy job? So he only brushed the ground outside lightly with his toes before pulling his foot back into the cage. The days passed, and he spent every whole day just standing there. Out of boredom, he could only glance at his watch to pass the time. One day, a thief snatched a wallet and ran past. A disabled woman begged him to help get it back. But the job didn't allow him to step outside the square, so he could only watch as the thief escaped. When it came time for payday, the student stammered that he wanted to quit. The boss immediately turned back and asked him to repeat it. Terrified, the student quickly said, "It's nothing." After the boss left, curiosity pushed him to secretly follow. He wanted to know who this boss really was. He trailed him downstairs and peeked through a window only to see the boss putting on makeup in front of a mirror, then pulling on a clown mask. The student was stunned. Was the boss also just a clown trying to please others? Day after day went by. That once young college student became a middle-aged man. Watching teenagers skate down the street, he remembered his younger self. But now all his edges had been worn down by that square. When the boss came with his paycheck, he no longer felt excited. This time, however, the boss said, "Your years of persistence have earned my recognition." He offered him a 30% raise and moved him into a bigger space with a wider view. The man who had grown dull and numb felt a sudden rush of joy again. Time flew quickly. The once fresh-faced graduate was now old, his hair gray and his face wrinkled. His salary had risen to $2,000. But this time, as the boss left, the old man told him he wanted to resign. When he noticed the white hairs on the boss's neck, he finally realized he had already sold all of his youth to this man. But now that he knew, what difference did it make? The old man began to reflect. What is the true meaning of life? He walked up to a young girl and traded his luxury watch for her skateboard. But as soon as he stepped on it, he fell hard to the ground. He was no longer the energetic boy he once had been. Weak and frail, he could now only lean against the fence and slowly glide forward. The message: may we all do the things our hearts truly desire and live in the way we've always longed for.